What's up everyone? In this video, I'm going to talk about whether you should still consider coming to Canada in 2020. This is going to be my honest opinion. It might not be something you want to hear, but just keep that in mind. If you're coming to Canada, you're probably coming for one of a few reasons. You are a student, you got your admission into Canada, or you're looking to get your admission into Canada, studying here in a university or a high school. After which you want to find a job and you want to get permanent residency in Canada, like most of us. Or you're someone who's been working in their home country and you're looking to migrate into Canada and you want to come here, find a job and start a new life. Now, Canada has always been a great option for immigrants to come in here and find work. It's been very open to people from other countries, but now the situation has really changed up, so I wanted to give you some updated information. If you are a student planning to come to Canada, you have to consider this, okay? First of all, right now, flights coming into Canada as of the filming of this video, the borders are closed. They're not having any flights come in. I think international students aren't really coming into the fall. Universities have postponed their semester as well, so things are constantly changing. But just to give you an idea of current international students in Canada, a lot of them have been laid off from their part-time jobs. They don't have work. Many students just came in January to start their first semester. Now classes have even been put on hold, or they're doing it online and they can't really work anywhere. They can't pay their rent, they can't pay their daily expenses. So these are some things that you really have to keep in mind if you're still planning to come to Canada. Now, yes, this situation might fix itself by September. You can still come here, but keep in mind all of the international students who are already in Canada, they will be looking to get back into the workforce. They will be looking to get back into their part-time position. So the competition will be at an all-time high. Not just that, but competition in terms of admissions as well. More students will be applying because a lot of students didn't get in to their original semester, and more students were applying for the semester that you might be starting in. So the competition from other students in the university you're applying to also is very high. Now, this thing you really have to consider if you are coming to Canada and your whole purpose is to come here, study, get a degree, find a job. I want you to think about this for a second. People in Canada right now, people who are born and raised here, who have Canadian experience, who have the language and communication skills, they are getting laid off. They are having trouble finding a job. So if you come here and you study, not only do you have to compete with them, but also consider the Canadian economy is going to start picking up soon, because right now it's not in a good place. The reason I'm telling you this is because you're bringing all of your savings, all of the money you or your parents have worked hard for to put into your education. I want you to think about long and hard, and also consider, is this a program you have to take in Canada? Do you have to study in Canada? Can you do it locally? Are you 100% sure this is what you want to do? This is the kind of stuff you have to be thinking now, because more than ever, where you spend your money is crucial in this time. Now, if you're someone who's just migrating to Canada because you want to find a job, a lot of the same things apply. Jobs are not easy to hold on to. So many people I know here have been laid off. If you look at places like Air Canada, 5,000 employees just laid off. Not only is it hard to find a job, but people are having a tough time just holding on to their own jobs. That's including local Canadian people, international students working here, international immigrants working here. A lot of people who are already working in a position have a tough time keeping their jobs. So if you come from a new country now, it's going to be incredibly competitive for you to find a position. I would say the two most vital things to Canadian employers are communication skills and Canadian experience. You might have experience from your other country, it might be great experience, but they want to know you can work in a Canadian environment. You know what it's like to work in their company with their policies, their legislations, and their state. They don't want to have to retrain you in all of that. Now, in some cases, they will make exceptions. It's not a rule that applies everywhere, but generally, if you have someone who's familiar with the country, with the laws, they will just favor them a lot more. So to round this up, 2020, should you still consider coming to Canada? I would say it's probably the worst time to come to Canada compared to last year and maybe even next year, because you never know what's going to happen. Right now, everyone's priority is just the safety of themselves, safety of their family. If you have a well-functioning job right now, I would not leave it. Come to Canada, risk everything, risk all the money you've saved up to find a job here. It's just not worth it, in my opinion. If you are a student planning to come to Canada, think long and hard about the program you're doing. Think long and hard about where your communication skills are, because even if you come here, you graduate with a degree, guess what? You're one of thousands of international students who have a degree, and you're competing against local people, other international students, maybe international students with more experience from better universities. So you really have to be real with yourself to see if all of this is going to be worth it. Of course, it's very hard to predict where the Canadian economy is going to go, but if you're investing $30, $40, $50,000 into education, you have to know realistically whether you will be able to find a job afterwards or not. In summary, guys, there have been better times to come to Canada. This is probably the worst time of any of coming to Canada. So really give it some thought, really look at your finances, really look at the program you're doing. Is it worth leaving your job at home to come to Canada? These are things you really have to consider. Again, this video has been posted in March. Things might change as things go along, so just keep updated on all the news going on in your local area. Again, if you enjoyed this video, you got some value out of it, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be making a lot more videos to keep you posted. Take care.